Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Winter Bird by AURORA from her album Greeting All My Demons as Friends. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. So let's get in, learn a little more about Winter Bird. All right, I want to start with a little bit of the symbolism about winter birds. So winter birds symbolize hope, resilience, and spiritual messages, standing out as vibrant, enduring life against cold, barren landscapes. They often represent departed loved ones, acting as messengers from the divine. Key symbols include cardinals for vitality and renewal, owls for wisdom, and starlings for luck. So there are a few kind of specifics here, but I really enjoyed this. Because they do not migrate, they represent perseverance through hardship. So I think even the idea within the song of hearing the winter bird sing is in a way a reminder, right, of life, of brightness, of the ability to push through even in the midst of difficulty, in the midst of a winter. So here is what AURORA herself said. The song draws parallels between nature and the soul, suggesting that our view of the world around us is influenced by our emotions and our history. So this is AURORA here. Sometimes you need to be reminded of how it was to feel alive. It's a tricky situation to find yourself in when you've forgotten about your reasons to live. And here's something she posted about a winter bird that had died. She said, "Hear the winter bird sing, rest in peace, little bird." There's a little bit more context here. She says, "Sometimes I fear our technological progress will slowly take over. We meet people through text and screens. Is it setting us free, or are we slowly wrapping ourselves in, depending too much on it? The fall is bigger when our hopes are not realistic, not human. What has no heart can't give us love and true happiness." Okay, let's get up here into the lyrics. Verse 1, "Walking in my sleep, like the naked dreams, will they wake up again?" So this one, and you can feel free to help me out, I feel like what she's conveying there is, I don't feel like it's an actual sleep. I feel like, again, the thing she's talking about is this, and we've visited this theme a few times through this album, almost this sleepwalking, this living but not living. And even what she said about the song, right, to be reminded of what it means to live, is that in this place you can find yourself in of numbness, of apathy, like, will we wake up again? We need to hear the winter bird sing and be reawakened, reinvigorated. Now, I've struggled a little bit with this. Do they sleep? Do they dream? This could be speaking of the winter bird. It could be tying to the symbolism of that it was speaking about of winter birds being these messengers, and maybe talking about those that have already passed away. I'm not exactly sure, so feel free to help me out with those lines. But you can see this. "Feel it as the wind strokes my skin. I am moved by the chill, hear the winter birds sing." Then the chorus, "My tears are always frozen. I can see the air I breathe." But I feel like this is just painting a picture of what it means to kind of live within the winter season of life by using, obviously, winter imagery. So my tears are always frozen. I can see the air I breathe. Got my fingers painting pictures on the glass in front of me. Lay me by the frozen river where the boats have passed me by. So this almost feels like, again, it is like, obviously, if the river's frozen, there are no boats. So the boats have already gone past. It's almost like life has already moved past. And you're just laying by this frozen river, kind of lifeless. And ultimately, I need to remember how it was to feel alive. Silent days, violent shades, which I'm assuming the violent shades is just, again, kind of another picture for if you were talking about living in like a shadow, or these shades. At first I thought it was violet, which let me go make sure that's not what it is. Because violet shades would kind of make sense as well. So no, it's violent shades. So it could just be this idea of these, I don't know, I struggle with that one a little bit. I mean, I feel like it's just speaking of like these shades of maybe color of, I don't know. I feel like it's reinforcing the idea of this kind of darkness, dreariness. But it could also, I don't know, because you have this connection of we are dancing again in a dream by the lake. Yeah, help me out with this one. So then we get this again, repeated chorus, and then the bridge. Rest against my pillow like the aging winter sun. Only wake each morning to remember that you're gone. So I drift away again. To winter I belong. You know, it could be tying into this idea of, do they sleep? Do they dream? That if she's speaking about even a specific hardship of losing someone, she's rested against the pillow. She wakes in the morning to remember that that person is no longer there and ends up drifting away again. To winter I belong, right? It's just this sorrow that continues. The repeated chorus, then the post-chorus continuing to say, my tears are always frozen. And then like what she knows she needs is, I need to remember how it was to feel alive. I need to remember how it was to feel alive. I need to hear the winter birds sing. So it paints a very vivid picture, although there are some sections in there that I'm not 100% certain on. I think the picture of almost like moving through life is just this winter. Everybody's passed you by. You're stuck in this place of remembering this person is gone. And you need a reminder, right? You need the winter bird who endures, who is this bright spot in a cold and dark landscape, to reinvigorate you, remind you what it was to feel alive. So really beautiful song. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you saw anything I didn't see, love to have a conversation there. Thanks for being with me for this one. Hope to see you in the next one, because we're eating good.